to another episode of What About Jesus with Gene and Grady. Gene, we're back.
We're back, yes. We've had some technology issues, vacation issues, illness issues.
Yeah.
But we're here.
Yeah.
We made it.
We're back.
Yep. We're on the bright side of life now.
Yes, we are. We are. It's all sunshine and rainbows from here.
Yes,
Yep.
Absolutely. I like it. So we've been sharing with our viewers on what they call the virtues in 2 Peter chapter 1. And it's interesting that it compares rather well to the fruit of the Spirit.
Yeah.
And if the Spirit's truly living within us, the fruit will be evident.
Yeah.
But here Peter says there are things we need to do to ensure that we're growing and allowing that fruit to be evident.
Yeah.
And so he says that we should add to our faith virtue, which is that goodness. What did you also call it? Excellence.
Yeah.
But I want to back up a little bit and look at verse 3 where he says, His divine power has granted to us all things that pertain to life and godliness through the knowledge of Him who called us to His own glory and excellence. We as believers and disciples and followers of Jesus, we've truly been given a great gift and His divine nature. I mean, that is just awesome to think about and to understand that everything that God is in us. Mm-hmm. We just need to tap into that power, into that strength. So, So you work with the youth, and you've shared with them the goodness or the excellencies of moral conduct, right? And then for moral conduct, we're looking at knowledge. So where do you go with that to help them in being, as Peter says, you'll never be ineffective or unfruitful with this growth?
Yeah. So at the beginning of this year, I challenged all the students to write down goals for themselves. So it could be anything. It could be faith goals. It could be, what I did is I had them build a column of faith goals, and I had them build a column of just any other goals that they may have in their life, whether it's sports or school or things that they wanted to accomplish in this school year. And we just kind of, broke it down as things that we are striving to be. And are there any of our goals that are, not spiritual focused? Are there any of our goals that are holding us back from our spiritual ones? All right.
Okay.
And so how can our idea of the world or our success in the world get in the way of how we are succeeding in our spiritual walk? And the whole thing is that when you're exceeding in your spiritual goals, when you're meeting your spiritual goals, you're not allowing all your other daily schedule to kind of get in the way. You'll see much more growth in all your other goals whenever you start to prioritize the spiritual aspect of things. When you prioritize prayer and Bible study and meeting those goals as well. And so it comes with due diligence and being able to, differentiate what is distracting you, what's taking you away from Him, and it's a gift, and God says that we are to, we can pray for wisdom, and He grants it to us, and use that as use it as a tool.
Yeah, I mean, to grow in our faith journey, we have to have knowledge. Mm-hmm. And I like what Kevin said in his sermon last Sunday, that if we're to be disciples of Jesus, we have to abide in His Word. Mm-hmm. And that's the knowledge that I think each and every one of us need to understand, that we could, like you said, you could have the knowledge of the world, but that'll do nothing for your spiritual growth. Yeah. So it's only in God's Word that we gain that knowledge and gain that growth to stay focused, because, the things of the world can distract us.
Yeah.
Heavily. So
We would always describe people in high school, you're either street smart or you're book smart.
Right.
As it's the people who, they pass all their tests, they get all good grades, but for some reason they have zero common sense.
Yeah.
Those are book smart people.
Right.
And whereas street smarts, maybe you're not as academically successful, but you know how to survive out there.
Right.
That's street smart. You have to be both in your
Right.
spiritual walk,
Yep.
right? You have to know like when to fight your battles, when to pick your battles, but also being spiritually equipped in your battles. Street and book smart in terms of your faith, and sharpening all sides of your sword.
Yeah, because if someone just stayed right here in God's Word, just that's all they did every day, just read, and read it. Mm-hmm. And I call that they're so heavenly minded but no earthly good.
Yeah.
Because, you can know God's Word, but if you don't put it to practice, you're not living God's Word.
Yeah.
So, and I think that's why that when we add to our faith that moral conduct, that moral excellence, mm-hmm. that's our behavior, right? Yeah. And so to have that knowledge to guide that behavior, man, what power that is to the world and to those around us. Mm-hmm. So I pray that our kids will grab a hold of that as you lead them in the coming days. So you got a retreat coming up pretty soon, do you not? Mm-hmm. And what's the focus on that again?
So me and a good friend of mine, we're childhood best friends. He happens to be a youth minister in Edmond. We're planning a fall retreat together. So it's our church, the Weatherford Church of Christ, as well as the Oakdale Church of Christ. And we came together and kind of put out a theme for this retreat. And it's being awake. It's called the Awaken Retreat.
Okay.
And so what it's about is Ephesians 5, and it's about being awake in spirit. There's a part in Ephesians 5, and it says, "Awake, O sinner, rise up from the dead, and Christ's light will shine from you." And we're breaking down those three parts of that chapter. Is let's wake up. We're called by God. Let's take action, and then when we take that action, His light shines on us in all aspects.
Oh, very good. Yeah, I like that, and I hope our viewers and our listeners will grab a hold of abiding in God's Word, and like Grady said, that you will awaken to who God called you to be. Mm-hmm. You will awaken to the gifts that He's given you. Mm-hmm. And you will awaken without fear. I mean, I think that's what keeps so many of us from doing what's right is fear.
Yeah.
So,
and I think, I was about to say Gene. Kevin, was speaking on Sunday, and he's talking about the fruit of the spirits, and he says if you need more patience, don't do things that'll test your patience. Ask God for more patience, right?
Right.
It's the same thing with all these virtues. If you're having trouble, striving in your excellence, if you're having trouble with any of these virtues, don't put yourself to where your virtues would be tested. Put yourself in a situation where you're praying for that, where you're asking God for that. He put it as, the world doesn't need more Kevin Wright. The world needs more Jesus.
Right.
And I couldn't agree more. The world does not need any more Kevin.
I agree with you too.
Yeah. No, I mean the world needs more of Jesus and more of Kevin Wright.
Yes. Yes. If we could only grab a hold of that knowledge that Kevin shared with us. So yeah. So viewers and listeners, take a look at 2 Peter chapter 1 and grab a hold of what Peter's trying to share with us. And I think the key word there in 2 Peter is going to be knowledge. Mm-hmm. If we know who God is, that's the beginning. And understanding who God is, that's another part that we need to walk in. So I challenge our viewers to take a hold of this, and I pray that once you do, you'll allow God's Word to transform you, to change you. And I think, you can be more patient, and you can grow in that moral excellence in it because of being patient. Yeah. So I say so long from Gene.
See you later from Grady.
Y'all have a great and blessed week. Thank you.